Hello and welcome to another episode of Startup Hustle Middle East. Today we have the founder of Yalla Pickup. This is Elie. So Yalla Pickup is an app which is like the Uber for pickup services and transportation, moving. So Elie's been doing it about for 2 years now. They've already raised around 1.3 million dirhams, correct? In a seed round. So today we just thought we'd talk to Elie and gain some of his experience on the podcast.
Yeah, welcome to the show. So can you tell us a little bit about your background and how Yalla Pickup got started?
Yeah. First, thank you so much for hosting us today. I graduated as civil engineer and I've been working in corporates for like 14 years. Opening businesses. I was like kind of entrepreneur in the like construction industry. So what we do is I found a gap somewhere and I said, let's build this business unit, and that's how we started. My first venture was a business unit in wastewater and water treatment plants. That was my first baby.
And was that in Dubai? Or?
In Dubai, yeah. I got shipped out from Lebanon the moment I graduated. So I came here to work as like a civil engineer graduate. So there was a boom in this area, as you know.
Yeah.
That was back in 2003.
Okay.
So that's how we started. I worked for 13 years in corporate, heading business unit to increase the profitability of companies. And then with time I got bored.
You wanted to do something?
Yeah, I wanted to do something which is an extension of me, trying to simplify the life of people within the region. And this is how Yalla Pickup came to the picture. It took me one day to move one crate from one place to another. You know how it works here, you know, like you want to move something, you go to the sandpit, or you call a driver, where are you? I'm here. So I went to the sandpit, you negotiate, and then you drive slowly in front of the truck to the pickup location, you drive slowly to the drop-off location.
Right.
And it's just a total waste of time, you know. Meanwhile, I was, one day I was going back home and I saw this pickup trucks on the sandpit, but their mobile number were like so big. And I was like, you know, it hit me that why don't I connect people who need truck with people who actually have trucks in a seamless and easy to order way. And that's how we started. My heart started beating, and since then I put the wife, the house, the dog, everything on that.
Okay,
that's cool.
Great. And how did you find, you have co-founders as well in the business?
We don't have co-founders.
I
was the sole founder for this startup, but everything in terms of the people we onboarded, like senior, it just happened organically. So the CTO came on board, and it was more than a CTO, he was more than, so he was like an advisor as well in terms of technology. We should do that feature, that one. And this is how I found my partner, the CTO, and he has equities.
CTO?
Equities in Yalla Pickup as well.
That's cool.
Do all the partners have equity in Yalla Pickup?
Yes, absolutely. I mean, this is the first partner who got equity because we started together. And then we signed a strategic partnership with The Box, which is a company that has more than 10 years of experience in logistics within the region. And that's how the founder of The Box is now a board member as well in Yalla Pickup. They've injected money, and since day one we had their ops, their customer service, everything was set up to help us and support us.
That's great.
Yalla Pickup.
That is a very good strategic partnership.
Yeah, that's one of the biggest challenges, right? Setting up ops and doing operations.
Yeah, absolutely. I mean, you were saving time, you know, like a lot of time recruiting, good recruiting. That was one of the challenges as well. So we had a company with more than 10 years of experience doing the same thing that we're doing, but we're offering the tech, so, and on the back end we're having their support as well.
Modernizing it.
Yeah, so that was the first investor, let's say, slash partner. And then Dubai Silicon Oasis came on board as well. They were interested in the model that we're having, and that was, we closed our first seed round with the box with the follow-up from Dubai Silicon Oasis.
Okay.
That's great.
Yeah.
Yeah.
As part of your seed round, did you also raise money from family and friends, or
That was in the beginning.
In the
you know?
beginning.
Yeah.
Yeah.
for the
Family,
tech?
friends, fools, me, everyone, just to make it happen. So
Yeah.
the moment we launched, everything was overdue,
Right.
So I had to find a partner, and I was looking actually for a strategic partner, and it just happened organically. I've met Wadia, the founder of the box, and
Okay.
we were aligned in terms of the values
Right.
of transparency, creativity, taking the lead, and that's how it happened with the box as well.
That's
Great. Okay.
So from idea to launch.
Execution,
Yeah.
yeah.
How long did that take?
The tech is just like there is hard logic in technology. You
Yeah.
need to write the codes, just test the thing. So we launched in May. Actually, we opened the company in May 2016, but we could only have a soft launch in 2017, like the beginning of 2017.
Okay.
But prior to that, there was Jitex. That's where we launched our ideas. And by the way, there was no one doing that before. After 1 year, you see like people jumping on that.
Yeah.
one.
Right.
Now it's I wouldn't say a cluttered space, but now you have a couple of competitors
Yeah,
that have come in,
absolutely.
and that have raised a lot of money as well.
Yes,
So
Yeah.
absolutely.
so when they raise money, do you feel excited or disheartened? Because it could be both things, right? Like
Yeah.
they're opening up the market as
Yeah.
well. So
To me, it was like more having exposure that this service actually exists.
Right.
So on the seed round, we haven't spent that much money on marketing and acquiring customers. We're more like keen on offering services based on client feedback.
Right.
And that's why we came up with other extended services, and we went beyond a single point, which is the delivery itself, and extended our services into historical data, into data analytics, and that all came up based on client feedback.
Okay.
For the people who raised, I'm very happy for them, because we're all in the same pool, and they're spending money on marketing, which is very good as well, that people know that this service exists as well.
Right.
yeah.
And you know that there's it kind of validates your idea as well, right? Somebody else in the same
Absolutely.
space has
Yeah.
raised money.
Yeah,
That means there's some merit to the concept.
absolutely.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Absolutely.
Yeah, you can use that when you're pitching to investors as well.
Yeah.
So where is Yalla Pickup now? Like, how big is your team? How much? If I don't know if you can disclose revenue, but if you can disclose how many orders you're getting, how it's scaling, it would be
Yeah.
interesting to hear.
So basically what happened is 2017 it was like the learning curve, and 2018 this is where we started. And we take pride in saying that 50% of our businesses are actually repeated orders.
Okay.
So
That's
today
great.
is this year is the year of scaling of Yalla Pickup,
Right.
as we're looking to raise another $500,000 seed 2 round.
Okay.
Just
Dollars?
Dollars, yeah,
Dollars.
yeah. We don't talk in dirhams.
We don't talk in dirhams. We talk in
It's only
dirhams
dollars
sometimes.
there.
Yeah.
So this year is the year of growth, and the first year was like more proving the concept,
Sure.
getting business from different industries, so that we know who is our frank, which means who are we going to focus on.
Right.
And today we have a specific target market where we're gonna tackle, and we need this money just to spread the word a little more, and
Yeah.
to get into sales as well a little more.
Okay.
Yeah.
So the first year was learning, it was perfecting the tech, it was adapting the feedback that you were getting from your
Absolutely,
customers.
absolutely.
So the $500,000 that you want to raise is primarily for marketing? Is that right?
It's just-
and growth.
Yeah, it's like you're talking about 40% marketing, another 40% or ramping up the ops, because when we got opportunities and we can't take them, then it's a bit sad.
Yeah.
Because the most important aspect of the business to me is the client,
Yeah.
And if you have the client, then you
you can't
really need
deliver,
to-
then it's a big problem.
Yeah.
So are most of your customers B2B or B2C?
Yeah, that I was going to ask that.
Before we didn't know. I mean, if you tell me I need a camel now, I will get you a camel. Today, our focus is B2B mainly, and mainly on e-commerce. That's one aspect of the business, because it's a volume game at the end of the game, at the end of the day. And on the e-commerce, there is a lot of things happening exponentially in this area as well.
Yeah, that's true.
We're way behind the whole world, and we would like to grab this opportunity to be the expert in large consignment delivery for e-commerce.
Okay.
Yeah.
And do you have some e-commerce players that you're already working with right now that you've kind of grown with as well?
Yeah, there are some small businesses, like they do have, the first client was like handmade furniture from UK.
Yeah,
Like
we were watching your
Chesterfield
pitch.
sofas and things, yeah. So before it was a hassle for the founder just like to find a pickup truck. Now she can order a pickup truck from the comfort of her house in UK or her showroom in here with full visibility on where the pickup is. And so we have small e-commerce players, and also we're working with Souk currently as well. As we speak, we have 4 trucks with them doing a couple of deliveries as well. First mile, middle mile, and last mile as well.
Okay, can you explain first mile, middle mile, last mile?
That's an e-commerce thing. You know, first mile is when you get from a warehouse to another warehouse when they need to dispatch. You know, or you're getting from let's say their supplier to their warehouse, and then last mile would be like to dispatch to their existing clients, which is you bought a TV on Souk, we can deliver it for you. So last mile is actually the last mile. Like this is.
And what is the middle mile then? If there's 2 suppliers in the middle or something?
Middle mile is if you have like a warehouse somewhere, and you have a big warehouse, then from the supplier to the big warehouse, that's the first mile. Then from warehouse to that warehouse, the mini one, and then the dispatch.
Okay. And your primary focus is last mile delivery?
We do everything.
You do everything.
Yeah.
Okay.
Anything that requires a pickup truck, we do it.
Okay.
That's the bottom line.
Okay. And what do you think in this whole journey? It's been more than 2 years now. You said May of 2016. Or
it wasn't like May. You know, you start. You have to open a company.
Yeah.
You know, and you have to pay an arm and a leg for that.
Exactly.
But like technically we've been for 2 years. Like,
for 2 years.
Yeah.
And what do you think has been the most surprising thing that you've learned in this journey about yourself or about the ecosystem in the Middle East?
About myself, I didn't know that I was so perseverant. You know,
you have to be.
Yeah, you have to be. Yeah, this is one of the qualities that an entrepreneur should have. You know, in terms of perseverance, and this is on the personal side. You know, that was. I didn't know that you have to hustle every day.
Yes.
Along, get it, and then ups and down. Then you get to get used to that rhythm. So when you're down, you're like, it's gonna go up, and you're up, you know. So it's just, I wouldn't trade that journey for anything else, because I know that judging from the people we're working on in business, that we're making really their life much easier, and this is something on a personal level I take pride in that.
That's great.
Yeah, I read something that as a founder, you can't get too excited about the ups and too disappointed with the downs, because you really have to know how to just roll with it, you know, because it's too much of a roller coaster. If you react very strongly to a small win or a small loss or whatever, then you just can't sustain. You find a place where you're just kind of balanced. Oh, this is great. Oh, this is not so great. Just kind of roll with it.
To me, it's a long ride, you know. So you cannot burn yourself. Like
it's just the beginning.
People saying I worked 18 hours and I'm too old for that, you know. It's just like sometimes you work 18 hours, but sometimes you need to just go to the beach and work from the beach, because there is something that needs creativity. So you need to really pull yourself out and just like think strategically where we're heading. And it's very important to have this balance, you know.
And what have you learned about, or what have you found surprising about the startup ecosystem here as well? Like, do you think it supports founders? Do you think there needs to be more opportunities? What do you think?
It's still, to me, just like we're maturing little by little, and I'm happy to be part of the ecosystem at that stage.
Yeah.
Because we're gonna reach a stage with all these visas for entrepreneur investors, with all these facilities that they're opening up. We're gonna reach a stage where we're gonna be much easier.
Yeah.
But the journey we're having was like there was a lot of bumps. You know how, if you're raising money in June,
Yeah.
you won't see anyone. Like
That's true.
there.
That's
and
true.
Sometimes like it's a whole 3 months trip of like just trying to sustain yourself in that summer
Managing
kind
your
of,
cash flow.
Yeah. So your business is also very seasonal. Like it dips quite a bit during Ramadan, and I guess it goes up towards the end of the year.
Yeah, I mean, like all
Most businesses in Dubai
Absolutely.
are affected that way. Big corporates.
I don't
small-
feel like there's any change in marketing at all. Like during Ramadan as well.
So it's seasonal, but you just like channel your marketing such in different direction.
Yeah.
Because we're doing moving as well, like moving offices or moving houses.
Okay.
So when the business is slow in terms of deliveries,
Yeah.
the
You
moving
focus
picks
on
up. So
B2C more.
Yes, absolutely.
Okay.
Okay.
Yeah.
No, honestly, with the moving, like we've grown up in Dubai, and
Yeah.
moving was always such a pain,
Yeah.
and
Yeah.
always some things would get destroyed in the move, and you don't know who to blame because the pickup trucks, the drivers, they don't want to take any responsibility. So, especially considering people move around so much in Dubai, I think
Absolutely.
Yeah.
there was definitely a need to have a better way of doing things.
Yeah.
So yeah, like for people who are outside the country, people in Dubai move quite a bit because not too many people own houses in Dubai. Most people are renting, so they tend to move every couple of years usually.
Yeah. That's the trend. I mean.
Yeah, so that's what.
So why did you decide on Dubai versus any other Middle Eastern country to start?
I mean, you're from Lebanon, so why not start something there? Yeah, you just were done with Lebanon after you graduated.
Yeah, I got shipped out from Lebanon. Like, go just like
I don't know what that means. What does that mean?
Lebanon, because it's I don't know how to tell you. It's a different ecosystem. Like there is a lot of things happening, and I wasn't involved in the whole politics or the geopolitics. I didn't like the whole energy
Atmosphere.
of that. So I came here and I felt that yes, there is this is a land of opportunities.
Yeah.
Specifically that they have a vision to be the smart city of happy people.
Yeah.
And what we're building is aligned with the vision of the country, So that was a good opportunity for us to be like to start in here, but of course we're gonna expand geographically to other countries as well very soon.
Okay.
So what is next for you? Like, where do you want to go from? So right now, do you do all of UAE or
Yes.
specific all of UAE?
All of UAE, now we're working on doing cross-border.
Okay.
And we're in talks with some partners in Oman and KSA.
Okay.
We just need to align the board members to where we're gonna jump first, depending on the money we're having and the opportunity we're gonna grasp after that as well.
Yeah, because Oman has picked up quite a bit because of Qatar and everything as well. Like the economy is growing quite a bit.
Yeah, it's there is
But
some,
it's a smaller market compared to Saudi.
yeah,
Yeah.
but they have, like here they have 2021 vision, Saudi 2030. So they came, Oman, they have vision for something called Logistic Performance Index.
Okay.
And in 24, I think they want to be one of the 10s worldwide. So they're ramping up everything in terms of logistic deliveries and Oman Post is doing a great job in this regard as well, and we want to be part of their vision as well.
Okay, great. Very much aligned then with what you wanted to do.
Absolutely. Yeah,
Okay,
yeah, absolutely.
great. Okay, so how did you acquire your B2B customers and your B2C customers? What marketing did you do at the time?
Mainly it was more like attending these events and creating brand awareness that actually this service exists, and we're following up this in parallel. We're doing some social media marketing as well, just to create brand awareness as well.
Okay.
And on the SEO PPC side, that's that's where our customer they grew organically on
Okay.
that side. But it was like more PR with social media as well as SEO and PPC.
So the PR helped you with your SEO?
Absolutely. I mean,
Yeah.
when we launched and throughout last year, we've been recognized by people we didn't even know. So
Okay.
we've been featured in different magazines, as you know, like we've been featured in Forbes as well,
Oh wow.
Golf News, The National, and just happened that they saw the concept, they like it, they give us a call, hey, can we
That's
have an
awesome.
interview? And it really helped us without spending money on that one.
Yeah.
On top of that, because it's a service, on top of the technology,
Mhm.
we are offering on-time, safe, transparent, and reliable
Right.
pickup truck and moving service, which is something you
Yeah.
can hardly find in this region.
That's
you know?
true.
Right.
And the word of mouth is this is something that has really helped us, grow our pool of clients. Let's say, and it's yeah.
Yeah, and I mean, your acquisition cost is not that high because you said a lot of your customers are repeat customers. And because if you continue working with e-commerce players, then it's consistently, fulfilling
Yeah.
orders, consistently doing last mile
Yeah.
delivery as well. So your lifetime value is quite long.
For deliveries for businesses. However,
Okay.
B2B.
for moving, the acquisition cost is much higher.
Right.
And it's one-off.
And it's a one-off. But again, it's a one-off with a word of mouth. So we get
Right.
referral all the time. We work on referral scheme with
So
them.
the same thing with the Jarkar, we launched with short-term car rentals, and then we also started leasing cars. So
Yeah.
businesses lease cars. They'll lease cars for 6 months, a year. Especially companies that have to do deliveries and things like that.
Absolutely, yeah.
So and then they can scale based on demand. So they're
Absolutely.
not locked in. Like they don't have to buy 4 cars right away.
Of course.
They can stagnate it and buy it. So that's what we started as well. We realized that we need something that's recurring money.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Repeated is the name of the game. You can't spend a lot of money on marketing for a
Yeah.
one-off.
Yeah.
However,
It gets too expensive.
Yeah.
But
Yeah.
as you said, the referral works.
referral
and
works,
over
word
time-
of mouth work, because I'm telling you, it's on time, safe, transparent, reliable pickup
Yeah.
truck service. If you gather these 4 parameters,
Yeah.
you're likely to find in one company one of them or 2,
Yeah.
but the four of them combined, that's what we're
Yeah.
offering, at that stage.
And what is your monetization model? It's a percentage that
Absolutely.
is charged. Okay.
Yeah.
Is it a fixed percentage or you vary?
No, it depends. It depends. I mean, it's a volume game. So
Yeah.
if I have a client that has like 100 deliveries a month, it's different from a client that has
Yeah.
10 deliveries a
Yeah,
month.
yeah.
It varies, but we're working on a commission base, so
Okay.
we take commission on every move we make.
So one question that people ask me and that challenges my business as well is quality control. Like since that's one of your pillars, right?
Yeah.
So how do you manage to do that at Yalla Pickup? Like
That's-
make sure
Different
that your
suppliers.
guys
Yeah.
are on time because of
That's-
the technology?
That was, if you ask me, what was the most challenging aspect of it is the driver's induction and, just like to educate the
Yeah.
driver and engage them on the vision of Yalla Pickup.
Right.
And the driver we're having or the drivers we have here in this region coming from a different background and they're not that much tech savvy, so we're changing the whole
Right.
image of the UAE and the whole region in terms of deliveries by offering this seamless experience.
Mm-hmm.
In terms of maintaining the quality, what we do is we have a very keen selection criteria for drivers and helpers. So we
Okay.
get them on board, we make an interview with them, we have a background check on
Okay.
the accident they make. All these things. Once they're selected, there is a induction for them,
Okay.
Okay.
which is if you face that problem, that's what you do, So we're more like educating them to offer the best client experience,
So customer support training.
Yeah, like for instance, it's not like if you're late, you just like say 5 minutes, which is very frustrating. I hate
Yeah.
that,
Yeah.
Like I said, we have a very delicate drivers and helpers selection criteria.
Okay.
And once they're selected, there is an induction for them. like I was saying, if we're late, we tell. It's unlikely, but if something happens, we need to inform the client.
Right.
Well in
Because
advance.
I was suffering from this before, I've been here for 15 years. Yes, I'm on the roundabout, and this roundabout never finishes.
Yeah.
It's like, there you can like check on the driver, where is he, and you have estimate time of arrival. So that would offer them like, it's like a kind of
Relief.
yeah.
We have that issue as well, and we were just thinking of how to tackle it because, these are like delivery services. Like we deliver the car as well
Absolutely.
to the customer. So
Yeah.
there's traffic, there's issues. You're not on the ground with them, so it's hard to manage that. But yeah, I guess good training and stuff will improve the customer service experience, right?
Yeah. Plus it educate, because we have two sides of the coin.
And you can track on your app, right? Where
yeah,
the
of course,
driver is.
of course.
Right?
Yeah.
And live track it.
And people can do ratings as well.
Of course,
Yeah.
yeah, absolutely. Once the delivery is done, they can rate the whole experience. They can put some comments.
Okay.
But not only we're keen on offering the best client experience, the vision for Yalla Pickup is to help these drivers optimize their trips as well.
Okay.
Because I don't want to see in 2-3 years, the vision of Yalla Pickup is not to see any pickup truck on a sandpit
Okay.
at 50 degrees, waiting for somebody to come
Waiting
and do
for
delivery.
business. Yeah.
So it's gonna be a very dynamic one. They have their app, they receive a notification, they accept it, they go to the job. If there is nothing, they will sit in the shade in their house, whatever it is.
Yeah.
They can relax. So not only we're offering like the best client experience, but we're also keen on engaging the driver and making their life easier by optimizing their trips.
Yeah,
Yeah,
optimizing.
absolutely.
Yeah, so currently the capacity of your app, is the technology helpful for route optimization? Like if you get 4 orders and is one driver is the technology planning the route?
Absolutely.
Okay.
And this is very keen when it comes to e-commerce, because e-commerce you have like 20 deliveries, TVs, sofa, whatever it is. So we all built it like we like exported and imported to our platform, and then you see the route of which one is the first one to be delivered, which one the next, the second,
Okay.
the third, and that will help optimize and of course like contribute.
So you can use less trucks to do the same amount of deliveries?
Less trucks, or let's say
Maximize.
optimize the truck utilization, and this also contribute to the reduction in carbon emission, which is also part of the vision of the UAE as well. So
that's great.
we're all aligned to just like offer this service and contribute to the vision of the UAE as well. As
That's cool.
Great. So we actually met with you at an event recently,
Yeah.
where you were pitching to investors. So for our listeners, can you seemed very calm while you were pitching,
Yeah.
regardless of whatever questions were thrown at you, and that could be personality or just lots and lots of pitches that you've participated in. Lots of practice. So what can you tell our listeners who are founders? Any advice you can give when it comes to pitching in general?
I don't give advices. It's just like a personal opinion, judging
Sure.
from my own experience. Pitching is a project by itself,
Yeah.
and you shouldn't take it. To me, it's just like you have one shot. It's either you make it or you have to make it, and that's why preparation is key. Like I prepare for the pitch at least 10-15 times. Before I go pitch, I prepare the question that needs to be done, and sometimes I feel very sad that I see people going there and they're not ready.
Yeah.
Because this opportunity doesn't happen all the time.
It's
Yeah.
hard to get in front of investors.
And if you're
as well.
getting in front of an investor, you just need to,
Yeah.
are you gonna join us in our journey, because that's what we're doing,
Yeah.
or we're not prepared. And to me, it's very frustrating to see people that are not prepared. So
Yeah.
I would say from my own experience, take pitching as a project and as a very important opportunity for you to raise cash.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Have you ever pitched with you said your CTO is also has some equity. So I've seen you pitch by yourself twice now.
Yeah.
And also on some YouTube videos and stuff. So do you find that pitching with someone else helps? Have you done that? You haven't done that?
Yeah.
I don't think it really helps because sometimes you need to coordinate with two people.
That's true. That's true.
You know, it's
It's-
harder to get
rehearse.
your. First of all, it's harder to rehearse. You have to be exact in what you're saying. Timing matters, and it's a bit more complicated. I feel.
Yeah.
The one person
Yeah.
should be the vision leader.
Okay.
And the pitch.
I always listen to. You're always learning, you know, and I
Yeah.
have, you know, the chief evangelist, the guy Kawasaki of Apple before, has a very nice audio on Audible. You can listen to it, but he tells you like it's better
The art
to.
of the pitch.
No,
No,
it's the
it's-
art of the start.
Art of the start.
Yeah.
There is another like it takes you from idea to pitching to whatever it is, and I really I think everyone who's gonna go into this journey should get
Listen
this
to that.
Audible. But he says like one guy should be pitching, and to me it's a gray area, but this is how I feel it.
Yeah.
However, it makes sense to me because there is a story behind it, you know.
Right.
And when you get somebody to pitch and somebody else, like I've seen people, this the guy say first sentence there is
Yeah,
no
yeah.
energy flowing, you know what I'm
Yeah.
saying? Whereas when I'm pitching, I'm fully in the moment and
Yeah.
I'm like aligned with whatever, and the body language that I'm offering is just like
Sure.
part, it's an extension of me. Whereas when two are pitching,
It gets much
you don't
better.
feel the, you know, whereas to me I'm pitching, you pitch all your life, you know.
Yeah.
That's not only on stage, you're pitching. I'm pitching
Sid
now.
is always pitching. Yeah,
Yeah,
exactly.
that's right.
As
So-
an entrepreneur, you are always
Yeah,
pitching.
to me it's more you're telling a story, so you don't want.
I guess you need to sell other people on your vision, right? So that's
Yeah.
that's the whole point of pitching.
Yeah,
And I think it's much harder to say, oh, we have this vision and we are
Than-
doing this,
yeah.
than saying I have this vision.
Actually-
And like as a story, it just comes across more naturally.
I mean,
Actually, that's true. I've seen more bad pitches with two people than good pitches with two people. Because I think it's true. Like, especially when you also ask questions, it's like who's going to take it, who's
Yeah.
jumping over whom. And
yeah, on
things.
the probably on the question side, like once the pitch is finished, yeah, because there are some tech, let's say, so the CTO would be there to answer, but the whole pitch, in my opinion, from my own experience, it should be like one guy telling the story, dush, 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 and that's it, you know. That's the
Okay.
way I see it.
Yeah, it's a storytelling thing. Yeah.
Yeah,
And
definitely.
plus, they should feel. Are you like pitching just to raise, or is it an extension of you what you're doing? You know, and we like the people can read. You know how
Passionate you
yeah,
are.
how passionate, how much you believe in the product or the service that you're having
Right.
as well.
Yeah, yeah. You want to raise more money and
Yeah,
things.
with
So can you talk about the avenues that you're considering?
we don't have like we're having a couple of angels because it's C2. We're not going to Series A so
Right.
far. We're raising $500,000, as I said, to ramp up the ops and grasp these opportunities that are coming.
Okay.
Can
our
you
way.
say at what valuation?
This I will keep it, you know,
Okay, no
because it's
worries.
it's still, you know, valuation is a
Yeah.
gray area.
Yeah.
What we need to have is somebody with us as a strategic partner to scale the business.
Right.
That's the bottom line. We believe in sustainable growth, so we're not gonna go into this game of burning rates and going in this direction. We're more keen on offering a good service for the businesses that require
Organically growing your business.
transportation. Yeah.
And I mean, it's worked for you already with the box partnership, right? That is a
Absolutely.
strategic
Yeah.
partnership. So, considering that you're aligned with Oman, Saudi, and UAE's vision and their mandates, I think it should be. I wouldn't say it should be easy to get partners, but I think it helps your pitch.
Of course,
right?
of course.
So,
Yeah.
yeah.
Okay, so if you had one piece of advice for a brand new entrepreneur, what would it be?
I don't give advice.
No,
I
he just
like,
shares from his experience.
from my
From your experience.
Yeah. You know, when I first started, it was very vague. You know, just jump, like we say, and you build your airplane in the air. Today, we reach a stage where, you know, sometimes there are doubts coming into your head. You know, and there is one French writer. He says, when you doubt your power, you give power to your doubts.
Yeah.
And every time I'm having this like up down, you know, like I remember that say, and that would be a good something that I would like to convey to people. Never doubt your power. If you're believing in your product and you're passionate about it. And of course, you prove the concept. It's not like
yeah, it's not like I have an idea.
Yeah. It's there, and the people are needing that kind of service or product. Then don't doubt your power, because when you doubt your power, you're giving power to your doubts, and when you give power to your doubts, you start doubting again. And you go into that trip, and you don't have to go into that trip because it's not good science.
It depletes your energy, and I think it shows.
It kills your confidence.
Yeah, we've watched many entrepreneurs pitch, and I mean Sid has pitched a lot as well for Ajarkar, and people can sense if you're not 100% confident.
Yeah, they can feel it.
They can feel it.
Absolutely, and to me, I was reading an article, and it makes a lot of sense, and nobody talks about it that much. You know, in startup, whatever business you're having, you have strategy and tactics. That's like you need to focus, do the strategy and tactics. But there is another aspect which is more important than these two, is the state of mind.
Right.
You know, if you don't have the state of mind to keep going, to hustle, to just like go through a bad day, good day, whatever it is, then none of these things would, you know, like would prevail.
Absolutely.
Yeah. So
I think a lot of companies initially they come up with something and then they pivot and then they're successful. But if you don't have the perseverance to reach that point of the pivot, then you will. I think that's why so many startups fail.
Absolutely. So state of mind is a big, you know, and just like balance. You don't have to kill yourself. You just have to do your best, and that's why when they talk about focus, focus is focusing on the things that will take you there. You know, like you can work 18 hours checking emails, deleting whatever it is, but is there a goal behind it? And that's why in any aspect of your work, you just need to keep in the back of your head, is this gonna take me to where I want to be, you know, rather than I'm just like working, you know, like
like a headless chicken. So your immediate focus is to raise money, invest in marketing and operations, but what is your long-term focus? Do you want to be all over the world? Do you want to completely saturate certain markets? What is your long-term vision?
The long-term vision of Yalla Pickup is like we want to change the whole environment of deliveries, you know, where everything is like moving forward in direction. Like you can see ERP system, you can see a lot of things enhanced. However, in the transportation, I feel it's still stagnant, you know, and we want to take it to the next level in terms of technology and in parallel in terms of geographical expansion. We're coming from a background of abundance, so all this competition and all this is just like there's a lot of demand happening. So I do believe in you know, like complementing each other rather than
fighting,
complementing
rather than competing.
And we do the same, like we do this all the time, you know, like with other players in here where we have minor overlap on different things. So to answer your question, the long-term vision of Yalla Pickup is to expand geographically and to change the face of delivery in the region as well.
Great.
So on that note, thank you, Elie, so much for coming on the podcast. It was really fun to talk to you since our businesses kind of similar but not exactly the same.
It's transportation.
It's transportation sector. But great to have you on the podcast. If you're watching this on YouTube, make sure to subscribe to watch more videos like this one. If you're listening to us through the podcast, you can leave us a review. That really helps us out. We're available pretty much on all the podcast platforms, including iTunes and
Spotify,
Google.
Castbox, Pocket Casts,
You name it.
Google, Apple, everything.
So we also use Anchor as a platform for distributing our podcast. So the cool thing about Anchor is that you can leave us a voice note if you want us to answer a question for you, or you know,
or tell us how awesome we are.
Or tell us how awesome we are doing.
Or if you have a question for Elie, we'll also leave.
Absolutely.
He doesn't share advice, but he'll definitely.
You know why? Because some people gave me advice, and
it's really shit.
You know, and the best advice I had is because some people gave me advice, and is not to take any advice which is not aligned with your gut feeling. Yeah.
So you just don't like the word advice.
It's not like I'm not in a position
my
to
experience.
advise. Yeah, my experience. It's more, you know,
No, that's fair.
some people, like some things work for some people, succeeded where others failed. You know?
Yeah.
So it's not advice. It's very like concrete. Go and do that. Whereas experience or sharing whatever it is, it's you can take it or leave it. You know, that's
I agree with you, man.
Yeah, I think it's a good way to think about it, because it's like, this has worked for me. It may or may not work for you. You choose whether or not this fits with you. Yeah. Great.
So guys, so leave us a voice note on Anchor, and we'll get Elie to answer your questions if they're directed at him.
And we'll leave links to Yalla Pickup as well as your personal profiles as well on the show notes. So check it out. And that's it.
That's it. We'll see you in the next one.
Keep on hustling.
Bye.
Cheers, guys. Ciao. Bye bye.